Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org for more info, or you can always email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Janisa J. Brunstein. We're going to be discussing her amazing novel, From Boiling Water to Master of the Southern European Cuisine, a travelogue. Now make sure when you're heading on over to Amazon and barnesandnoble.com for purchasing, you get the second edition. You're going to want to get the one that's the most contemporary version to gather everything that Janisa has in store. And before we go any further, I do want to take this opportunity and point out that she was brought to our network by one of the best advertising firms in the business. And of course, I'm talking about Author Reputation Press. So listen, if you're a writer out there and you've written a book, but you find yourself at a crossroads because you need help moving it, well, I'm going to give you some fantastic advice. Head on over to authorreputationpress.com today and gather all of the ways that they're going to be able to assist you because they're one of the best in the business to do it. And this is what they specialize in. So once again, if you didn't get it before, authorreputationpress.com is the place you have to go. See what they can do to help maximize your creative endeavors. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Janisa here on the line. Now, right there in the title, I mean, there's no beating around the bush, okay? You have an idea of the discussion we're getting ready to have today, okay? Now, this book follows her traveling experience and the food that she has had. And it's really meant to not only educate, but also inspire her readers to also take their own travels and recognize how big the world actually is. Because a lot of times when you keep yourself confined in your own little world, in your own little box, you tend to get complacent and your world becomes smaller. Well, listen, this book is just the start because this is going to show you, how grand this world truly is, how many different cultures are there. And it also just might get you hungry at the same time. Because I know, just from doing research and preparation for the book, I had to stop a few times and make some meals for myself because this is a wonderful book, a fantastic resource, and a wonderful education that you're going to want to add to your shelf. And at the end of the day, don't take my word for it. Take Janisa's. It's her experience that she pulled from. It's her words that she's written. And she's going to be able to articulate everything much better than I ever could. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for a wonderful ride. Janisa, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and I am that it's my pleasure to meet Mr. Cole, a filmmaker, myself. I would have never imagined in my mind that a girl from Venezuela coming to America, it would be an interview by Mr. Cole, such a famous filmmaker. What is more than that for me?
Well, Janisa, thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate that. Listen, the pleasure is all ours, okay? You had to write this fantastic book for us to invite you here on the network. And given the fact that we both have our backgrounds in filmmaking, hopefully at some point in the very near future, our paths can cross again and maybe we can work on a wonderful creation together. It would be my honor and we would so much be in gratitude to you to do that. So we're hoping that works.
You don't know, Mr. Cole. You don't know how I imagine this book. And I'm gonna probably start telling you. Maybe, or I don't know. Maybe you wanna know about my background before.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're gonna learn about your background. If you'd like to start there, we can start there. Or I know this book culminates in your personal experience. So listen, this is your interview. Right. We're following your lead. If you'd like to start off with your background, please take it away. If you want to jump right into your book, let's jump right into your book. But I'm gonna follow your lead here, Janisa. We're looking forward to this experience.
Thank you very much. Well, my background. I was a girl, right, born in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
I had, we were traveling, my parents, since I was a little girl, because my mother is a doctor, physician, medical doctor, and we were traveling. We went to Brazil. My mother was doing the specialty, like dermatology there. And it was in Sao Paulo, which is a very big city, around 25 million people in that city. And I grew up, not grew up, but I was there for quite a long time. I was I had a middle school there, and then high school, not the whole high school, but actually half of that. And then my father also was studying there. He's an engineer, and he was studying transportation. So he's a specialist in transportation. And then we went to Argentina, and in Argentina, my mother also was studying. And then we returned. The whole thing about this study, my parents, is because in Venezuela before, when it was the rich Venezuela and the nice Venezuela, they used to pay the people that really qualified to go abroad to learn and to come and to teach in our university. That was always like that, the goal. So that was it started like that, my traveling, right? When I was a little girl, I was like 8 years old, and something like that. Then we came to Walt Disney after that. And I think we came like twice. And I really fall in love with the pavilion, where the country pavilion. Oh, I was so excited. I don't remember if it's in Walt Disney or Universal. I really don't remember why. But I remember I said to myself, one day when I grew up, I'm going to go to all these places, because I was amazed really what I saw. And that's one part. And the other part, it was like, from me, since I was 3 years old, I remember that I used to open my grandmother's cabinet, and then I was taking all the pots and the pans, and I used to take sugar and mix it with milk powder and make believe that I was cooking. And then my other grandmother, she had a tree house, and we used to play, like my cousins and myself, we used to play like la family. I was the wife, and my cousin was the father and the kids and all that, and I had to cook for them. So I was always, I had a pot, and we were collecting leaves, and we were making believe that we were cooking. So it was since the very beginning. And also my grandmother had a restaurant, so I used to see her how she was working in a restaurant. And also that I grew up like that. And when I was like 8 years old, I used to tell my father to buy me the ingredients that I was going to make whatever, or a lasagna, or it's called pasticcio, I don't know the Italian. Then I used to tell my father like that to buy me, and then I was the cook on Sundays in the house. I used to be like the one that cooked everything on Sundays. And then for Christmas, my family always want me to do something. So I used to do, there is a bread that we eat it in Christmas time. It's called ham bread. It has ham inside, it has raisins, and it has olives. So that one, and they want me to make it, and also the desserts, the fruit cakes, everything. So I was the designated cook in my house. And this passion grew up with me. And this is what I like. I like traveling, and I link it to gastronomy. I link it to food cultures, and I link it to people, because the experience is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I cannot describe how I enjoy it. And I think one of the persons that influenced on me to really start this journey, it was Anthony Bourdain. Because I used to watch Anthony Bourdain all the time because I really love it. I really love that he was traveling. I really love that he was trying and this. And I am like that. I grew up so picky with my food. When I go abroad, when I go outside, or when we go to eat, really, I don't like anything because I make it even better. I don't like anything. If I go and I say, if I am a food critic, I am giving a 0 sometimes because it's like they don't know really how to cook. It's Italian food. So the people, they are not Italian cooking. They don't know. They don't know exactly what they're doing. So what people eat here is not the autochthonous. It's not the authentic that you can find in traveling. And if you go to Portugal, you find there the what they eat exactly. And you go to Spain, it's the same. You cannot miss a paella. You cannot miss the real sangria. It's too much. In Italy, you cannot miss gnocchis. The nonas make it from scratch. And you go to Italy and you find a little restaurant. And they go, it's a family that run it. And then I say, can we have food in here? And they go to the backyard. They pick whatever they want. And they come and they make it for you. And you eat it like fresh from scratch. And this is what I enjoy. And then I went to, from Italy, then to France. And, you have to enjoy the Bordeaux, real Bordeaux wine. And it's very well known. And cheeses and charcuteries, because they have a couple of markets there. They are very interesting. And the quality of life of Bordeaux. And then I go to Paris, and you cannot miss it. I mean, this is unbelievable. I probably don't have words how to describe Paris for me. It is the city of light. It is the city of the romance. I always imagine just to have a boyfriend and to walk under the rain in those bridges there. I mean, it is like, or get engaged there and use the locker that people in that bridge, they just put a locker and lock it there when you get engaged. And also from there, Montmartre, that is the place of the artist. It's when the artists start arguing about what to create in this world. And they are there. They gather there in coffee shops, and they, and also the other ones painting. And I also paint, and I also draw, sketching. I also do that. I like the food. I am an artistic person. I really do. And then from there, I think it was Greece, and then Greece, you cannot miss the sorba. The real dancing sorba. They dance around the fire. Oh, it's so beautiful. And also the food. Everywhere I went, it was really fresh food, because mostly of them, the fishermen, they bring the fish, fresh fish in the morning. They go at night, and they come in the morning, and they distribute the fish around the restaurants, and then you are delighted. You were delighted your palato. You cannot imagine, Mr. Cole, how I enjoy.
Absolutely. Listen, Janisa, I am loving this. And people, I'm already starting to get hungry. I know you all are as well. Listen, Amazon and Barnes & Noble are where you have to go. I'm going to say it again. The title you need to pick up is From Boiling Water to Master of the Southern European Cuisine, a travelogue. Make sure to get the second edition by Janisa J. Brunstein. You know, Janisa, next question that I'd love to get into, and really a two-part question here. First and foremost, who would you say is your intended reader with this book? And secondly, what is the main message that you hope that they receive from it upon completing it?
My intended reader is for everybody, I believe. It's adventure for people that want to start adventures. I want to explain to these people where should they go, where can they eat, where to ask in a restaurant. Like, this is, it's intended to the one that start the adventure, that does the people that do excursions, the families with children. They will learn so much. And the second question, I think my intention is to open the minds of people, to imagine that there are more worlds there, that we cannot have a narrow vision of the world, and we cannot have a narrow knowledge. We open that narrow vision, and we know that there are more worlds in front of our forehead. And this world, they teach you so much that you, even if you don't have, I always said, if you don't have a credit card, if you own a credit card, you can always start traveling. And if you don't know what to do in your life, I bet you that you're going to see something that you never saw here that you can do here. Mm-hmm. You can bring it to here. Because we see so many things abroad, so many things, very different. It's Europe and the Southern Europe is very, very different. And it opens your eyes.
Absolutely. I love it. Listen, I could sit here and I could talk to her for hours regarding this book. A, I'm that much engulfed into everything that she's talking about. B, I'm wanting to travel the world myself. I've done a bit of traveling, but this is something right up my alley that I love, and I know I'm going to get lost in it. But I have to keep reminding myself, Benji, this is not about you. So as we switch gears here and we close out, this is not the only book that she's written. Now, it's the only one that's available at this moment, but she has another book that's still in creation that she's also writing at the moment. So as we close out here, Janisa, we have a few extra minutes. Talk to us about what's upcoming for you. What's on the horizon?
Well, I started already writing about United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Ireland. I was not in Wales, so I am not writing about Wales, but these are the places I am writing. And I had the opportunity by it was random. I never planned to be. It was last year. I also was in the Jubilee of the Queen Elizabeth, and it was random. We never knew that. I was there. We saw so many people around, but this was so many people like ants, like sardines in a can, that you couldn't even walk. And then the vendors, all the vendors with the British themes, and we asked to people, what is it? He said, this is the Jubilee. And we just sat there in the hotel watching on TV because it really was so difficult to walk around. And then, by coincidence, also, I went to London to work also to bring us also students, also food and where to go. And also, random, I got there. It was the coronation of the king that day. And it was just amazing. I couldn't describe the magnificent. It's just, I don't have no words to say. The beautiful they was, so they well prepared. I don't know, and I don't have also words to say that I was so impressed with the transportation, the highways, the streets, the avenue. They are so well maintained. You don't see a pothole nowhere. It is that like they are brand new all the time. And I said to myself, I was really like ashamed, that our country has been losing that. I mean, I came from Venezuela, and I know that it was very hard for me at the beginning. You know that, Mr. Cole. I had too many. I have to jump too many hurdles on those. But I fall in love with my country here, and I see that it's getting like it's deteriorating, and the railroad system is very old, too old. That you just I am in New York, and from New York to Buffalo, it is 8 hours in this train when it should be at least no more than 2 hours in a new system, new railroad.
Mm-hmm.
And the potholes that I see here, and that they really don't maintain it. They put just like they use a layer only. They just spread a layer every summer to have it ready for winter. But this is a layer, and when they go and they start moving the snow, they damage the transportation, the roads and all this. And this is something that I really feel embarrassed, because in all the countries that I have been, they have the best transportation system. Really do. It is a shame,
People, I started off the interview by saying how much of a resource this is. How much of a gift this book can be. And we've done a 360 because I'm back at where I started. If this interview hasn't moved you, you need to pinch yourself because you're clearly asleep. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm wanting to travel the world with Janisa. And I know all of you out there, you're like me. You're already going to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and purchasing your copies.
Yes. I'm sorry. You're going to have more than travel, more than a gastronomy culture, because there is a rich life culture that you can go to fine art gallery or classical theaters, classical dancing like flamenco, the real one, the sorbas. There are so much to do, and then people. Then you meet people. I already have people. Travelogue, they became my friends. We just talk on we see each other from WhatsApp. We use WhatsApp, and we stay in contact. Because this is the whole idea, to have fun. Because traveling is fun. It is fun.
Absolutely.
But, it is fun, and I wanted to share this with people.
Well, listen, Janisa, we are so glad that you did, because now we get to travel alongside you. As I mentioned, people, Amazon and Barnes & Noble are where you have to go. Again, from boiling water to master of the Southern European Cuisine, a Travelogue, 2nd edition is the title you have to pick up. And Janisa J. Brunstein is the author you have to thank for bringing it to your table. Head on over there today, get lost in every part of this magnificent journey, and you can thank me later. Make sure to check back in frequently. As she's mentioned, there's another book on the horizon. So you're going to want to take that trip as well the moment it becomes available. Janisa, this has been a true pleasure, an absolute delight. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
No, my pleasure is mine. Like I said, I don't have no words to say that I came from Venezuela and I'm meeting you. How? I never not imagine in my whole life that something like this was going to happen to me. Just to meet you.